Well, maybe I'm more intellectually okay with that than 100%
I think so.
okay with that.
I think so. I know that because you told me.
Right.
Because you mentioned the word like cringe inside.
Yeah.
That's different than I'm okay. Right? So your mind may be like telling itself, I'm really okay, really, it's okay. But your body's like going, ugh, it's not okay.
Maybe I'm okay with looking into that then.
Yes, yeah, you're more okay with actually facing it now and looking at it,
Exactly.
which is very positive.
Right.
Right? You're looking at the kind of impulse. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's a great place to start.
Yeah, so just start there. Start with, so you know I mean, I'm calling it a problem, but I don't mean that in some deep sense.
Right.
But that's the problem. So the images, these images sort of just flash upon you. Mm-hmm. I want you to just be creative with it. What I mean by be creative with it is like, and I'm not giving you, you don't have to ask these specific questions unless they really resonate for you, but I mean creative in the questions you ask this, when it happens, this sort of energy, you know? What do you want? What do you want?
Okay.
Right?
So the second it happens, just ask what you want.
If that, I'm just saying you can open the dialogue is the real thing.
Right.
You know, so you're pulling something closer rather than holding it away and trying to figure it out. You're trying to pull it closer. You know, when you say to someone, you say, so what do you want? What do you need? It's just the question is like, now we're drawing closer, right?
Right.
Because what we're drawing, and these questions, what they're really meant to do is not to get you to figure it all out. Because we obviously know you can be okay in your mind and your body can cringe. So there's two aspects of yourself, right?
Right.
At least. We're trying to pull, the questions are pulling these two together. Not trying to give your intellectualized self some great formula, but the questions are meant to pull you together so this gap inside you begins to diminish. You know?
Yes.
So where they come from, you know, you don't know, but that cringing is also, it's a way of pulling back. And you're just, what if I don't pull back? Not indulge either, but just really meet that energy. What's that image like at the level of energy? If I was just to feel it, of course it flashes, I see it, and then I might have a thought about it, but what if I then feel it? Just let the energy integrate into my system.
Draw it close.
Yeah, draw it totally close. So there's no you and it.
Because the cringe is pushing it away and separating it.
Yeah, it's a bodily thing though, right? It's like you can't necessarily keep that instinct from happening, but you can go like, oh.
Okay.
And then relax and see, let me just feel this, not as an image, but as an energy. Right? Because we are very complex beings. And we have very complex energies that happen in our systems. And any energy for any reason that gets sort of cut away from your core, it can't integrate.
Right.
It can't integrate and just sort of become part of your totality. So that piece of you keeps replaying and replaying and replaying and replaying, and then you try to understand it. You know, first you just try to run away from it because I don't want to pretend like that's not there. But then you just, at a certain level, you can get down to just experiencing it more as energy, because that's, at the end of the day, that's really all it is. It's an energy that's trying to reintegrate into your entire energy, just to reintegrate into your system.
Right.
And once it integrates, it won't have to keep grabbing your attention.
Right. And I don't necessarily need an intellectual answer, just an
No,
integration.
no. If
of
something comes
energies.
up, well and good, but it
Right.
very well may not come up.
Right.
You know? I mean, that's why, like, when you're kids, some people as adults, but when you're like teenagers and stuff, teenagers love going to horror movies. Remember that?
Yes.
They go there, you get the wits scared out of you. You see the most, graphic, awful, violent, sadistic stuff that you would, ever want to see in your life, especially in the last 20 years. And, there's lots of people can go there just for the thrill of it, and that's part of it too when you're a teenager. But I would suggest there's also, in a very deep way, there's something that's actually being worked out, especially at that time of life. You're actually trying to, your system, your whole being is trying to come to grips with all these very strange and odd kinds of energies, right? Horror. Now, what do you do with that feeling, right? If it's a whole bunch of people and they all gasp at the same time, there can be something sort of cathartic. You're in a movie theater with 500 people. You're not in a little room by yourself. And it can help that kind of energy and even those kind of images start to integrate into your system. Do you know what I mean? That energy. So that's one of the reasons why there's a very specific time period in life where people are often drawn to those kinds of movies and stuff, because it's the time where that energy is trying to really integrate. Of course, there's also people just, when you're a teenager, you love to be thrilled and scared and all that, but I would suggest there's something deeper going on.
Yeah.
Those images that people have flash in their minds are up on the screen. And if it's up on the screen, it's okay.
Exactly.
It's not in my mind, it's up there. But remember, every image that's up there was in somebody's mind.
Right.
Right?
And those movies were awful for me. Probably a lot because of what I'm talking about. They'd stay with me forever. And everyone was like, oh, they're just a movie. They mean nothing.
Well, maybe you just said it. Maybe
Yeah.
they have been staying with you forever.
Maybe that's it, yeah.
And you won't just get the images from the movies. They can create all sorts of other images that have nothing to do with the movies, but that unintegrated energy
Exactly.
can still be floating around in you.
Right.
But the difference is you can do it more softly, more kindly,
Yeah.
drawing just that energy close rather than doing it through shock.
Yeah. Much more enjoyable, too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Aja.
You're
Much
welcome.
love.
You're very welcome.